Hello, all. Welcome back to Storytime with Aunt Becky. We're here to read the last story in this book, Volume 1 of Once Upon a Bible Time. And this one's called Small Daughter. After reading this book when I was younger, I decided to name my cat Tabitha, not Talitha. So the girl's name is Talitha. There was a girl in school. When I was in school, she was a few grades ahead of me. Her name was Talitha. But this is about a girl that lived long time ago, Small Daughter. In a white stone house near the temple church in the town that Jesus called his town, lived Talitha, the only daughter of Jairus, the wealthy and wise temple teacher. Talitha is a pretty way, small daughter, to say. Talitha's mother taught her to read and to sew, to make neat little stitches in a neat little row. What did Talitha do just for fun? She played with the neighbor children. Sometimes they played a game like Run, Sheep, Run. Sometimes they played wedding, and sometimes they raced down to the sea to watch the boats come and go on Galilee. One morning when the children came to play, Talitha's mother met them at the door. Shh, 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 she said. Talitha cannot play today. She is sick in bed. Then, seeing how sadly the children turned away, she called after them, Maybe next day after next, or the next, Talitha will be well enough to play. But day after next, Talitha's fever grew worse and worse and worse. Said her mother, If only Jesus would come today and lay his hands on our sick, sick child, the fever would go away and stay. But Jesus would not be coming to the white stone house. No, not that day, for he had sailed in Peter's boat. Sailed far away across the sea to visit other towns on Galilee. There's a boat down at the bottom of the picture. Sailing away. Each day at the white stone house, doctors would come and go. Doctors would come and doctors would go, but how to make Talitha well they did not know. Finally, one morning they could only sigh and shake their heads as to Jairus one of them said, Ere the sun sets, your little girl will die. But on that very day came the good news. Who brought the news? The Bible doesn't say. Who do you think? Who do you say would be the first on hand to see Peter's boat come into land? Why, the children, of course. That the children brought the news, there's little doubt. Children who raced up the street with a glad shout, Jesus is come, Jesus is come. We saw his boat come in, we saw him. There's a little puppy dog. Quickly, no time to lose, Jairus hurried down the street. He made his way through the crowd of people and threw himself down at Jesus' feet. My little girl, my only daughter, is about to die, he said. Please come and lay your hands upon her head. Would Jesus go? Indeed he would. No one else loved children so. It was not far to the white stone house, but getting there was oh so slow, because the whole crowd of people went along too. They wanted to hear what Jesus would say, to see what he would do. Still quite away from the white stone house, a servant pushed his way to Jairus' side. No need to bring Jesus now, he said. Your little girl just died. Jesus overheard the sad words the servant had to tell. Don't be afraid, he said to Jairus. Only believe. All will yet be well. To the crowd of people he held up a hand. Stay. Come no farther. He gave command. Then beckoning to Peter, James, and John, he and they with Jairus hurried on. When they arrived at the white stone house, what an awful, awful noise was going on there. Within the house and without, women mourners wept and wailed and pulled their hair. Men mourners played sad shrill tunes on long slim flutes and round flat lutes. Another beat a drum, tum, tum, tum. I know what they mean by awful, awful noise. My neighbor down the street plays awful, awful noise. When he had come into the house, Jesus said, "What's all this noise about?" And he put the mourners out. Then Jairus led the way to a room where on the bed Talitha lay. Her cheeks were white, her eyes were closed, one small hand on top the covers posed. While Jairus, his weeping wife, and Jesus' friends stood around the bed, Jesus took one small hand in his. Then, not very loud, but not too low, he said, "Talitha, arise." Talitha's cheeks turned a pretty pink, and the little girl who had lain there dead opened her eyes, smiled, sat up, then stood up beside her bed. You think her parents cried with joy? Talitha was alive. Talitha was well. Such joyful happiness, such happy happiness as filled... Talitha was alive. Talitha was well. Such joyful joyfulness, such happy happiness as filled the white stone house, no one could begin to tell. Jesus knew how hungry Talitha must be after so many days sick in bed. So before he went back down the street, he called Jairus to him and quietly said, "Give your little girl something to eat." Now, after that day, who do you say would be first on hand to welcome Jesus when Peter's boat came into land? Yes, you all agree. If first Talitha could be, surely she would be. And there she is, waving to Jesus. Either he's coming or he's going. It doesn't matter, but she's going to be there to see him. And I know her parents were happy. And when she woke up, she was happy. She'd been had a fever for many days. She didn't eat. And finally she got better. Jesus healed her, and there she is, the picture of help. All right, that's the end of that book. There is a volume 2, but I will wait for another day to share any of them with you. Thank you for joining me for story time today. And I'll see you, and, well, I won't see you. You won't even see me. You'll hear me in another video and share another story. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.